Podcast. I'm Kevin Daisy, your host, also the founder of Array Digital. We are a digital marketing agency that only works with law firms. We help managing partners fill their pipeline. And today I have a special guest, Robert Brooks. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so excited to learn more about your story and about your firm, and I'm sure the audiences as well. See if they can pick up a little nugget, something that can help them with their firm. So let's get into it. Tell us, Robert, what is really, what sets you on the path to becoming an attorney, and take us through that kind of journey to, getting to where you are today in your career.
In college, I majored in business, public administration, political science. So had an interest in government, interest in politics. Started out when I got out of college, I went to work in the office of the mayor of the city of Providence, worked directly with the mayor. And probably about 12 months after I got out of school, realized that I wanted to do more. And so I enrolled in law school, attended law school at night for 4 years rather than 3 during the day, which I thought was, for me, was the way to go, first financially. And it also gave me some work and life experience that I think really helped me along the way in my career. Got to know a lot of the folks in Rhode Island where our firm is located on the political side, which has helped me in my career. And, when I came out of school, I had worked for the city and helped them with their labor relations, and had met the attorney here at my firm, Adler, Pollack, and Sheehan, who was the chair of the Labor and Employment Law Department at the time. He offered me a position, and I've been here now for 33 years since I joined. So,
oh wow, excellent.
So that's how I got here. Adler, Pollack, and Sheehan at the time, and even today, it was it's one of the leading firms in the state of Rhode Island and really in the New England region. We have 30 practice areas, including labor and employment. Our major practice areas are corporate mergers and acquisitions. Litigation is our biggest practice, commercial litigation primarily. We have a very well-known and renowned labor and employment department, not just because I'm part of it, because that's part of the history of the firm. Trust and estates, really any practice area that a business owner or a business would need, we can provide those services.
Excellent. Yeah, and those go well together. I think I own a business, and business owners tend to have a little more complexity, assets, things to protect, things to leave behind. So
they do.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, and it gets complicated. That's for sure. So, and everyone, if you're tuning in now on a video, YouTube, or my LinkedIn, the website address is down below my screen. It's apslaw.com. So check out Robert's firm website there. Very nice website. Offers a lot of content and information. So which leads me to the next thing is I was able to go around the website a little bit, but how many attorneys do you have at the firm?
So we have 70 attorneys spread over 4 offices. Our major office is here in Providence. We have another office in Newport, Rhode Island. We have an office in Boston, Massachusetts, and we have an office in Manchester, New Hampshire. So we have 70 total attorneys spread out over those 4 offices.
What does your support staff look like?
So when you add it all together, we have probably about 40 to 50 support staff between secretaries, billing and marketing, and paralegals. So, when you add all that up, it's a pretty substantial operation to manage on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Yes, sounds like a well-oiled machine, I hope, too. So
we hope it is. It can be, but just like anything else, we have our moments, I'm sure.
Yeah. So very cool. And I've been to Boston, Massachusetts probably 8 times. About as close as I've gotten to you there, but love it up that way. I'm just in Virginia, so not too far south, but right in the middle, I guess.
So if you get up here, can get up to Rhode Island, to Providence or to Newport, I'm sure we can show you a good time, Kevin.
Okay. You
Especially,
heard that. You all heard
especially-
that here on the show.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So let's ask, a couple of different things about what have you done? So the firm's obviously had really good growth, and looks very professional. I like the brand. I like what you guys have done from a marketing standpoint, from what I can see. What are some of the ways that you get clients?
So, the tried and true, word of mouth, referrals from existing clients, that's always going to be one of the primary ways, but we try to do other things. We try to encourage our attorneys, and I, for one, we try to do a lot of speaking engagements, engaging with the local media, as thought leaders when legal cases come up or they need someone to speak on a topic. We're often in the local law journals and business journals in Providence and Boston, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. So we also try to do a lot of speaking. We do now with COVID, we've done a lot of seminars and webinars by Zoom or,
Okay.
by those sorts of electronic platforms. And we also try to be as active as we can with pushing out client bulletins through email, putting stuff on our Facebook page, on our LinkedIn page, on our other social media platforms. So we try to be as active as we can in a lot of different areas, because you really never know how you're going to interact with a client, because clients are really looking for information in all different ways. And so you want to be as active as you can on as many platforms as you can in order to make sure that you're, hitting that potential client with that next issue or that next question.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you're B2B, so it's, LinkedIn's really good. I find that works well for us, for me, for sure, personally. And I think, in that one too, it's each individual attorney that's there with you has to make a little effort, I think, if they want to stand out on their own, get their own business in the pipeline. And, the firm can assist as well. But so how, as, with COVID and all that, being a larger firm, how are you guys prepared, really to go virtual like this and to have the technology in place?
So I think we were lucky enough really to have some foresight at the beginning of 2020. We kind of, early February saw the pandemic coming, and did a lot of work on the technical side, buying equipment and making sure that each and every employee at the firm had the technology to work from home. So even, my secretary, other secretaries, they could interact with us at home. We could interact with them. There were a small number of us who were in the office daily. As managing partner, I felt it was my role to make sure that I was here, our accounting department was here. Somebody's got to pay the bills. Somebody's got to make sure that they put the money in the bank when the checks come in, get the payroll out. So I was here with that group. And there was a small number of us that were here every day. And then all the attorneys, secretaries, support staff, they were home working with their email, with their phones, able to interact with clients. And, we thought when the pandemic started that, the amount of business we had would, just plummet. There were some practice areas, labor and employment being one, that were even busier.
Oh, wow. Good to hear.
They had tons of questions about, what their rights were with respect to employees, say, who didn't want to come to work, or whether they could open up again. And if they did open, what steps do they need to take in order to comply with state and local regulations about safety and, protective clothing and equipment. For whatever reason, our corporate department was very busy. I think there was a lot, and our trust and estates, a lot of thought went into succession planning. People were worried about whether they would get COVID, and if they did, how would that impact them, their business? If they were to pass away, how would their business be transferred to others or their personal assets? So we just found that that there were just new legal questions that came up because of the pandemic, and we tried to position ourselves in a way that we were, there, ready to answer those questions and meet whatever the client's needs were.
I like that. So yeah, good on you for hanging back and going down with the ship if it, if that were the case, staying on site and making sure things are happening. So it sounds to me kind of more like what we did. We played more offense, I think, than we did defense.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we were there for our clients. We called all our clients. We wanted to make sure that we were not, if we were going to go out of business for some reason,
right,
we were going to go down, fighting and make sure we take care of the clients that we were working with. So,
well, it sounds like you did a lot of the same things we did, Kevin. One of the other things we did was, just because folks were working at home, we wanted to make sure they understood they were part of an organization, they were part of the firm. And so we had many meetings, all hands meetings by Zoom with our staff, weekly catch-ups. Departments had those with the people in those departments, trying to do as much as we can to maintain that firm sort of culture and atmosphere, to make sure that people felt as though they were still part of something and not home by themselves, kind of working on their own. So I think that helped too. And it sounds like you and your business, you did the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. And exactly what you just said is I resonate with that 100%. So we're a digital companies, and I do have a lot of folks that work around the country that don't need to ever be in the office. And I have some that never will come in the office, but the office created our culture. Mm-hmm. And when we started to kind of go a little bit more remote, and then COVID happened, and we've hired even more folks in the last 2 years that are all 100% remote, we wanted to make sure that, just like you and your thought process, that how can we maintain and grow a company with the culture we have while having people at home? So yeah, we have daily huddles every morning with the whole team. We do like a happy hour on some like Thursday evenings. Sometimes we do a virtual lunch that anyone can attend. It's just a recurring weekly lunch. You can just pop on. Yeah. Everybody's eating what they're eating, and they all talk and chat. And we're about 22 people, so not as big as you, but it's manageable.
Yeah, those are great ideas. Those are all I think things that will help, continue your culture and keep folks connected. And I think that's the most important thing, is to keep the member of your firm or your business connected to one another. Yeah,
collaboration is important, and someone getting siloed, off doing their own thing and not really feeling part of the team isn't good. So, so kudos on that. And actually, I'm happy to report this year we're actually going to do the Christmas party, where we're flying everybody in here to Virginia, which has been on the fence. We've been not sure about that. And of course, not, everyone has to volunteer if they would like to come.
Yeah. We've been talking about those kinds of decisions. Do we have our year-end Christmas party? Do we have a ski trip that we usually do for attorneys in up in Vermont in February? What are the ski areas going to be doing? Would this, obviously we didn't take the trip in 2020, but with 2021, would 2022 be the year to get it restarted? We actually had that conversation today. So, you're right. There's those things that businesses traditionally do that have all been put on hold, and now, depending on where you are and, what the Delta variant is doing in the areas where each of you live, there's different decisions that could be made in terms of, getting back to those tried and true and historic sorts of events that you've had, both not only within the firm, but also for clients. For years, we've had a client Christmas party.
Oh, wow.
And so, there's another thought. Is that something we want to restart this year? Will people feel comfortable coming to an event like that? Or is that something that we should put off, one more year? So those are the kind of decisions we're going to have to make fairly quickly in the next weeks if we want to pull anything together.
We're in the same boat. We just my business partner and I were out at a conference in Louisville last week, and we decided not to do a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And our Christmas party we're going to do in like Fort Lauderdale or Miami or something like that prior, and we were just going to cancel it. And so we came back from this event where there's thousands of people, and everyone's been vaccinated and all this other stuff, and we're like, we're out here doing this. Why cancel this? Let's redo the Christmas party, but we'll have it in Virginia. It's a little bit easier. And then we'll let people decide if they want to come or not. And if they do, we'll get a head count, and then we'll hopefully make it happen. Something could change and we have to cancel it, but that's where we're at with that one at this point. So
yeah, good luck. I hope you pull it off.
And my wife works for a company in Boston, so I'm usually up there for their Christmas party, which is still on as far as I know, but we'll just have to see how things pan out.
That's the thing; you just never know.
I want my clam chowder, so I got to get up there and get it.
Good.
So, one more question. I don't want to waste up too much time, but I love everything you guys are doing. I love the firm, the culture it seems like you have, and the decisions you've been making.
Very much. Thank you very much.
What are the plans, if there are any, for the next couple of years? What's growth plans coming out of COVID? Was there any plans that you had that maybe you got, derailed or put on pause? What's the next couple of years look like for the firm?
So we're always looking to pursue opportunities. In the last few years, we added an intellectual property department practice, and so we'll continue to look for growth in that area, particularly on the patent side.
Yeah.
The practitioners in that group have done a great job growing that practice. We're also looking to grow our corporate and transactional practice area. Really, we found when we opened up our Newport office that part of Rhode Island really was a place of opportunity for us, and so we've been really fortunate that we've been able to really grow that practice area there as well. We're also always looking to upgrade our diversity and looking for diverse candidates to the extent that they're out there and interested in working with us. And, we're also always looking for opportunities to grow our business litigation practice. And so I wouldn't say like some firms, grow by, leaps and bounds and 10s and 20s and grow really fast. We're kind of more measured in the way that we do it. We want to make sure that we're moving forward deliberately. But we do see that there's opportunities in those areas for growth, and we're going to continue to pursue those.
Excellent. As far as the intellectual property, so that's federal. You're not, limited by your geographic areas.
Right.
Do you still find it from a marketing standpoint? You're still going to probably get more of that work probably in your local surrounding areas.
What's interesting is we built that practice area certainly with local attorneys, Dan Holmander and Cheryl Clark, and our two attorneys who lead up that practice area. But we've also added a lot of contract IP attorneys, patent attorneys from around the country.
Okay.
And so with those folks, we've actually grown our out-of-state business by moving in that direction. And so we've also done some local university, Brown University technology transfer work. And so one of the things we're looking at is whether we can take that concept and move it to other universities, not just in Rhode Island or Massachusetts, but regionally in New England, in the Northeast, and other areas if that opportunity.
That makes a lot of sense right there. I mean, I know our local colleges here are big in technology, intellectual property, and have a lot of programs and things like that to get their students or even whatever to roll out these ideas and take them to fruition.
Right. And so we're helping, local universities here with a program to kind of take all of that work and do it for them. And so we're looking for opportunities to take that platform to other universities as well.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Something with this podcast here is something I've been talking about, which I know we're recording, but I wanted to get more into some relationships with some schools, some law schools that we can maybe have periodically students on the show and really kind of see what their experience is today versus maybe your experience when you went to school. What the landscape's like.
That'd be a great, and it's a good way for those students to market themselves as well.
100%. We would tell the school, hey, give us one person this month, and we'll bring them on the show, and it'd be a great marketing tool for them. I would hope.
Sure.
But we also kind of learn what the landscape's like, what the challenges are today.
Yeah.
Where there's diversity or whatever the challenges they may have. But I think that's something I want to pursue. So
sounds like a good idea.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, is there any other way? And also the website address here is at the bottom. For people listening now, tuning in later on the podcast, what's best way to connect with you if they wanted to reach out, ask questions? I know your profile's on the website.
So my profile's on the website. My email is rbrooks@apslaw.com. Anybody wants to talk about the things we've talked about today, or labor and employment law. One of the things the thing I really enjoy doing the most is collective bargaining and union negotiations, and so that can tend to be unique and intimidating for some. So I'm always happy to talk about that with folks. So if anyone has any kind of question about labor and employment or about firm management or other things about my firm or even Rhode Island or the area that we're in, I'm happy to answer those questions. So,
well, appreciate that. Love what you had to share. I think it's a lot of good tips for those smaller firms or startup firms or whoever, just kind of, taking some lessons from someone like Robert here that's running a larger firm that had to make decisions just like everyone else. That affects a lot more people in his case, but, kept charging it forward, helping their clients out, took the offense. So I think it's a lot of good lessons there. So if you want to check this episode out, of course, it's going to be on the podcast soon. It'll also be up on arraylaw.com/podcast in the next few days. And Robert will be featured on our website as well soon. And the podcast, I think we have a big backlog to get through, but that'll be out soon as well. So anyone that wants to check that out, you can check that out there. For me, we specialize in helping firms grow through marketing. So digital marketing is what we do. So whether it's the website, search engine optimization, social media, or even online advertising, that's what we do. Help you get in front of the right ideal prospects. So if you need any help with that, or if you have questions, just like Robert here, I'm open. You don't have to buy something from us. We're happy to answer questions and help you out. So, Robert, anything else before?
No, I enjoyed this, Kevin. I really thank you for having me on today. And hopefully those who watch the podcast will find what we shared to be interesting and helpful.
Oh, I think without a doubt. So Robert, just stay on with me. We'll stop the recording, but everyone listening, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.